I don't even know where to start today. I um I was going to be a good YouTuber and just, pick an item from my list of topics that I have because I just scribble things down. Um but that would have been put on and that would have been fake. And I made a promise to all of you. Maybe I didn't say it out loud, but I made a promise to all of you that you would get me good, bad, or ugly. So I'm okay. I say I'm okay, but really, I'm very overwhelmed right now. And a lot of it is, circumstances of things that have happened in the last few weeks and things built, excuse me, things building up and not dealing with them and just pushing along as I like to do and just carrying on and trying not to feel anything or not knowing what I feel or I don't even know. But, going through all of this with my husband and worrying about his health and knowing, I say knowing, but having, something tell me different things that might happen and thinking it out to worst case scenario and trying to see my life on the other side of that. I don't want to get into too much detail because he doesn't really like me to think about it. He doesn't really like me to talk about it so much. He'll talk a little bit, but then he just says, maybe we should talk about something else, or maybe you should think about something else. Don't worry about it. Just let it be as it is. Everything's fine right now. Don't. Well, that's not how I work. And I know he knows that, but he is trying to comfort me and he is trying to get me to not add worries over him and his health and our future into that loop, but it's just about impossible for me to just put it away. I gotta go check on these dogs that are barking. If it was as easy to just not worry about something, not think about something, and just flip a switch and not be like this, I would. Back, I want to say it was last fall. Yeah, it was around the end of October. I made that video, and when it's one of my first videos that got a lot of views, and maybe that's where a few of you found me. It was I don't want to be an INFJ anymore. And part of that at that time stemmed from all the debate over whether people are real INFJ and blah, 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 all that stuff. And on that day and on this day, if I could choose something else, if I could shut this off and be something else and think a different way and feel a different way, I would. I would trade in my rare INFJ personality for something else. I don't always want it because it's not easy. And I don't even know if this video is going to have any point, but you guys can just listen to me, and I think sometimes it's helpful for me to just try to get some kind of, I don't know, something out of me rather than just spinning it and spinning it. And even sometimes when you talk to someone like yourself, because they haven't gone through what you've gone through, they don't necessarily even understand, And everybody is in the business of reassuring other people. It'll be okay. No matter what happens, it'll be okay. And it will be. I know I know there's a plan for everything. I know that everything will be okay. I know that I will be okay. But there's always this bit that is like planning or looking ahead and trying to figure out, if this course of events happens, then what will we do? And I've spent my life, at least my adult life, and probably my younger life, bottling up and not recognizing my emotions and not expressing them, particularly crying. And I have felt on the last few days just kind of being on the verge of tears all the time. And I tried all the things that everyone suggested to get them to come out, and they just won't. And I can cry for someone else. If I watch this show called Call the Midwife. It's set in the 50s, and these are these midwives that are delivering babies in a poor part of England in the 1950s. And I cry watching that show, but I can't cry for the sadness and the disappointment that I feel. And also, the anniversary of my dad's death is coming up, so I've been thinking about him a lot. And not thinking about necessarily my regret for not reaching out to him when I knew I should have. I've done a lot of work in forgiving myself for that. When I watch my videos back, I realize that when I'm doing this tapping or patting that I'm self-soothing. And now I've drawn my own attention to it, so I'll try to put my hands down. But that's a self-soothing thing, because talking about your feelings is hard. But I've been thinking about Dad a lot and trying to not bottle up my feelings and let them be at the surface a little bit more. And I think about that bottle, because I can see it in my mind. It is, like a narrow-necked but long, big, huge bottom. And I don't remember what those bottles are called, but they usually were made with colored glass, and it's an old thing. But that's the bottle where I put all the things. And eventually it gets full, and the contents are carbonated, so it overflows. And then you don't have a choice but to feel all the things that you didn't feel or that you didn't understand. And I don't want to be continually filling that bottle. I would like to feel things as they come, but I don't know how. And then I end up getting overwhelmed, and I feel useless to the world, useless to my family, because everything feels so intense. So I guess I'm just working through some things, or trying to work through some things. And it also, it added to that is kind of the state of the world that we're in right now. And like I said, my world's gotten a lot bigger, so I feel a lot more things than I ever used to. And I'm actually okay with that, because I'm a spoiled American brat. I've said that a few times, and I have no idea how terrible it can be out there. And sometimes I feel like I don't even deserve to complain about my little troubles and my little problems, you know? And oh, and for an update on my little Susanna, my little goat, she did not make it. I had mentioned that in a few comments to people asking about her. she clung to life for a few days, and in the end, I ended up having her put down because she was suffering. It was terrible to watch, and yeah. So, mercy. Mercy is what we chose. And it was very sad, but again, that's farm life. And I knew that she was not made for this earth. I knew that I had supplemented her along out of my own probably selfishness to keep this creature alive, and I should have just let nature take its course at the beginning, but you learn, you know. And that was very sad for me. And again, I didn't cry. I wanted to. I could feel it there, but I didn't. And I don't know what I'm so afraid of with that, but yeah, it's, I guess, Melancholy Monday again. Oh, but I mean, but at the same time, I am good, you know? I'm good. But it just, there's all these things that I need to continually work on. And one of those is actually feeling my feelings and identifying them and letting them come out naturally rather than saying, I will do that later. And thinking about Dad, thinking about all of you guys, you know, my friends all over the world, and just trying to figure it out. And I'm a grown up girl, so I'm allowed to cry whenever I want. I just have to be able to, and I need to do it. And I guess, you know, I have this. You know, when I married my husband, he's 10 years older than me. I knew he would be gone before me. And I'm not saying he's got a death sentence right now. I'm not. But I knew he would be gone before me. And he lives his life to the fullest, as he says. He doesn't take good care of himself, although he is right now. But, you know, by and large, he does not, because he wants to just enjoy his life and live in the moment and eat yummy things that he loves and not do anything that's uncomfortable or painful. So I know that he's going to be gone before me. I know that. But not now. Not now. And I will just love him as best I can while I have him. That was what I heard the other day when I was thinking about this. Just love him the best you can while you have him. And if that means another 20, 30 years and we're old and gray and I'm laughing at my young self talking to this camera about death and morbidity and all that stuff, then great. But anyway, long talk, no point, just sharing the sorrows, I guess. Yeah, I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I just need to empty that stuff out sometimes. So I appreciate you guys. Live and love, Ragnar. Live and love are the way you were created.